What's going on, watchers? Will here with the review for you, and today we are talking about the teenage antics of the Marvel and Hulu series Runaways. I'll try to give a short, spoiler-free synopsis before I go into more spoiler details about what happened with the newest entry in the MCU's small screen series. So, the series follows Alex, Chase, Gert, Molly, and Carolina as they get ensnared in a conspiracy where they discover that their parents are in a cult-like group known as Pride, who sells itself as a charity organization but is actually taking children off the streets to be used for whatever nefarious purposes that they deem fit. Along the way, the teens learn more and more as they have to reconnect after the death of an old friend to try and put a stop to their parents and whatever evil plans they have to wreak upon the world. This show, I would say, is solid. What we are given in some areas does more than the comic does, which it helps that the creator of the team itself, Brian K. Vaughan, is an executive consultant. And although this show takes place in the MCU, it doesn't feel like a typical superhero show. This is very much an adaptation of comic book characters that keeps the spirit of the original series but also finds new ways to define its characters and their motivations. One of the things that really helps this show is that it splits perspectives between the kids and the adults in order for us, the audience, to not get a purely one-sided interpretation of the events going on, but at the same time still keeping up some mystery to the show and what happens next. There are of course some changes that come with updating the series, like making Gert an SJW, all of the kids going to the school at the same place, Nico having a sister and being a little bit more visibly bisexual, Alex's dad being a former gang member instead of a mobster, and Molly being changed from white to Latina. But one of the biggest ones I would say is cutting Frank from the Pride and making her birth father, Jonah, the one where she gets her Macedonian lineage from. There are quite a lot, but I think for the most part these changes work as the show is supposed to be a more modern take on a comic series from the early 2000s. The acting from the teen characters feels very solid, and the writing does illustrate that, yeah, these are teenagers that say and do stupid stuff, and are very impulsive but have good intentions at heart. The only thing that seems weird is that Molly, despite being both the youngest actor and character of the group, for some reason just doesn't come across as that, and I think that's more a stupid note on my part, because the actress seems rather a little more mature than the character that she's supposed to be. Parents do help round it out by making the groups feel more like families, but we also see the distinct quirks that make each family unique. The inclusion of Jonah as the big bad helps add more mystery because, in giving the parents time to be fleshed out, they sacrifice the mystery of their motivation until we see their true leader. Jonah feels smooth in his inclusion because he builds up, comes in, and is pretty cleanly shifted as the new main focus as a threat to the adults. So, the acting is solid, the writing is good for what it is, even the effects look pretty darn good with Old Lace looking amazing in episode 10. What are the negatives? Well, I have two minor gripes. The music has a tendency to repeat the same song over and over and over again between episodes, and it can get kind of boring and tiresome until they switch it to some random upbeat pop song. And some of the hand camera work will wobble, but I think it's supposed to add tension, and the effect didn't really work for me at least. Also, they never really run away until the last minute of the show, so, the title can be a little misleading. All in all, I can say this show is good. It starts a little slow, but has enough questions to keep you interested, and in some places certainly took me back to high school with the types of characters that they have. This is very much the type of show that the CW wants to make. Good effects, a good cast of actors with distinct characters, and solid to very good writing that still manages to throw in some comic nods and romantic subplots. I am caught between ratings for this because the last few episodes build up a lot for a second season, and that is partially a weakness is that the end of it does not stand well on its own in terms of mystery solved. So I'll leave it at an 8.5. I also wish Hulu wouldn't air the show weekly just because with how short the seasons are, it would watch better as a binge in about 10 hours rather than 45 minutes every week just to come up short. But that's just me. Let me know your thoughts on Runaways down in the comments below. What did you like and what didn't you like? Also, while you're there, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, Hyper Network. And check out our website and Patreon for more content. I'm Will, and I'll see you next time.